Apparently, Ekblad, he gets suspended, huh? 2 games, huh? Hey, take him off 2 games. Should have been 5. I kidding. I love Ekblad, huh? Ekblad a good babysitter, huh? My wife, we go to Sandals every summer. Ekblad come and he watch the kids. So hurry back, Ekblad. We miss you.
The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
All right, Panther fans, here we go. Game 5. I can't believe this is an elimination game already, but you never know. I could be here this weekend talking about Game 7. Now, Aaron Ekblad suspended for the 2 games. That's fine. I don't know if you guys was paying attention to the first 2 games, especially the second one where Tampa didn't score any goals, but Ekblad wasn't on the ice either then. Sucks for him. We're fine. Moving on to the rest of it, it looks like the lineup is going to be the same from Game 4. Max Samoskevich is still out, which is interesting in the sense that I don't want Samoskevich on the 4th line. But apparently Greer and Boquist basically had no ice time the entire 3rd period of that game, which is completely the opposite of how the Panthers ran things last year while running 4 lines. Now, I don't know what we can really do about that. I thought Rodriguez on the 4th line was halfway decent. Samo being where he was. But Maurice is in tinker toy mode. We'll just put it that way. Give me a win tonight. That's all I care about. And then let Maurice figure out who the hell we're playing next. And then maybe the lineup will get a little bit more consistent. As for Tampa, I don't know what to expect because what I got in Game 1 and Game 2 was not what I expected. What I got in Game 3 from Tampa was not what I expected. And Panthers, last 2 games, they looked okay-ish. Obviously, we made the big comeback, but we're still not getting a lot of goals, save for those two goals in 11 seconds. So you're going to know that Tampa's going to be desperate. How desperate can the Panthers match their desperation? Can they recognize the opportunity that they have to end this series maybe a little bit earlier than it should be and take advantage of that and just put this thing to bed? Game is in Tampa, so you know they're going to be jacked up. They are not going to lay down. A John Cooper team never will. We haven't had an overtime game yet in this series. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's move on and see how this goes. Yep. It's going to be like that. 2-2 after 1. Tampa gets 1 early. Florida comes back with 2. Tampa gets 1 late. And nothing has happened because the score is still tied. Florida's out shooting them. We're also out giving the puck away. There's that. I think we had 2 power plays. They've had 1. Verhagen gets a goal. Brad Marchand. I want him to stay. Please, Brad. What do we got to pay you? How many public subs do you need? All right? Brad, I promise never to give you a puppet if you stay. Or I'll give you whichever one you want. All right? So he makes just an absolute insane move along the boards, walks the dude, just sends it right in front. Lundell just kind of moves his skate a little bit, pucks in the back of the net, and then Lundell gave the puck away in the zone, and it scores tied. So nothing has happened. It's fine. That period doesn't even matter. The rest of the game could be completely balls to the wall, 8-7. It could be a complete shutdown where there's 5 minutes left, and we're still 2-2. You never know what you're going to get with either one of these teams. They're both capable of completely shutting the other team down. They're both capable of completely getting 5 goals, allowing 5 goals. Anything is possible. That was 1 period. Let's move on to the second. Oh. No, hold on a second. Let's try this again. That's better. Okay. Oh, that hurt. 4-3 Florida after 2. somebody came, I forget who it was, my apologies. Somebody came to the noon stream today and said 6-5 Florida in overtime. So, would anybody be surprised at that at this point? Just that the last 4 minutes of the period, we kept the lead. I'm shocked. That might be the longest time all season we've kept a 1-goal lead, with the exception of Game 2. So, the power plays continue. Sam Bennett, two times, slashing, and he breaks the guy's stick, so it's not even like a ticky-tack type of thing. He's like freaking out there chopping wood, breaking sticks, and then at the end of the second penalty, we kill it off, and like we've got the puck with about 2 seconds left. I forget who it was, but we've got the puck just inside our blue line, and there's just one Tampa player back. And I'm watching it, and I'm thinking, they're going to cover Bennett, right? Because it was just obvious with the 2 seconds left in the penalty, and whoever it was, might have been Lundell, because he does kill penalties. But we've got the puck right there behind the blue line, and I know Bennett's coming out any second now, and Tampa just ignores the fact that Bennett's coming out. And we come down the ice, and puck goes to Bennett, and it's a 2-on-1, and he just beats Vasilevsky clean like Vaseline. And it's 4-3. So, now, would I bet my life savings that the Panthers are going to keep this lead? I'm $21,000 in credit card debt. So, yeah, my entire life savings, I'll bet right now that we're going to hold this lead. We might hold a lead. I don't know if it's going to be 4-3. Might be 8-7 the way these two teams are going. And I hope, please, just don't try to sit on this lead, Florida. Take advantage of what you can, because Vasilevsky's not having a great night out there. It's not terrible. We're getting pucks and we're getting guys in front of him. Brad Marchand. I say it again. I keep saying it. I don't care who we have to trade. Keep him. That's a bit hyperbolic, but you know what I'm saying. How much is it going to cost? He's so good with those guys. He's so good with Lundell and Luosterainen. It is just a joy to watch out there. So, all right. I'm not gonna. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 4. All right. Back to the second round. There's a lot of business to tend to here, right? This is good. This was exactly what this team needed to do tonight. We didn't exactly have our best defensive game that we've ever played. Doesn't matter. Now we're putting the puck in the back of the net, and we take advantage of the fact that Vasilevsky not having his best game, and just done. Put the thing away. Just put it away. Exactly what we needed to do. Now we can sit back for at least maybe a game or two and see what hell's going to go on with Toronto and Ottawa. And we're not going to have home ice. Well, we might actually have home ice. I just thought about that. We might actually, if Ottawa wins, we'd actually end up with home ice. How about that? So let's see what happens there. So, what did we see on the ice? Well, some of the big guys finally woke up tonight, right? Barkov got a deflection. Thought it was a Forsing goal. Either way, it's good to go. Bennett got one. Then he got another one with the empty net. Eetu Luosterainen got sick and tired of me telling him that he couldn't score. He got a goal. He got 5 assists. He had 4 hat tricks. He had a crazy he had a hell of a good game. Brad Marchand, I'm not going to say it again. You know how I feel about it. The dude, just sign him. He has to stay. The passes that he's leveling to Lundell and Luosterainen, it's not a third line. It's not a third line. Don't tell anybody, but it's not a third line. Okay? So, yeah. What a pickup of all the pickups. Of all the Giroux and the Tarasenkos and all the pickups that Maurice has gotten, Brad Marchand in these circumstances it couldn't be any better. It just couldn't be any better. The man is just, He is just playing outstanding out there, and you need that, right? Fourth line's not doing a whole lot. We don't really have a lot of goal scoring on that fourth line. They're killing penalties. That's fine. And he picks up Marchand, and you see where we're at. Rest of the way, not really getting any production out of that spot, whether with Samoskevich or Rodriguez. So I don't know what we're going to see. Maybe we'll see Samoskevich back for whoever we're going to play in the second round. I would like to see him get back on the ice. I believe he's earned the right to get thrown out there again and see if he can play better in Maurice's eyes for whatever was going on there. No sense in not doing it. It's not like the fourth line is doing much of anything, so you can move Rodriguez down. If you're taking Greer back off the ice, we're fine. Now, defensively, Ekblad will be out for the first game of this series, and the goals that we gave up tonight weren't necessarily, they were giveaways. Wasn't necessarily bad defense. Wasn't really on the fast break or anything. We had some bad giveaways early on, kind of settled things down. We only allowed the one more goal after those two in the first period. And Belinskas has been playing solid. Schmidt almost got his nose broke with a high stick, but it was a follow-through, so there was no call. He's fine. And the chippiness kind of got squashed, probably because of the Ekblad 2-game suspension, and that's fine. There's no Panther fans worried that Ekblad is out. It's weird because he's obviously one of our best players, and we won the cup with him and the whole thing, but we're just so solid in the fact that we got Jones. Whatever you think about Ekblad, I just think the same thing about Jones. They're practically the same player, and it just works. So we get through this series for the most part. Barkov has looked better each game after that hit. And now, what's today? Wednesday? So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I would expect, and I mean, if the series goes 7, if Toronto and Ottawa go 7, I don't think we'll play at least until Tuesday, right? So we might almost get a whole week off at this point in the year. That's a beautiful thing. And that's the only series left that's going on in the Eastern Conference, because Montreal won, Carolina won, we won. So the only one that's left right now is Toronto and Ottawa. So all of the eyes are on Toronto and Ottawa. Now, is that game tomorrow or is that game Friday? Not sure. We'll have to figure that out. So, other than that, we got through this relatively healthy, was what I was getting ready to say. I don't even think we had anybody during this series go to the locker room and then come back. So, I mean, there's guys that are going to have little dings and everything, but I don't think we even had anybody go to the locker room and come back this whole series, right? Barkov went, he didn't come back, but he was fine to play. And I think that's it. That's it. It is a weird feeling because Kyle and I started streaming. The channel's 9 seasons old, but we started streaming the first year that we went to the Cup. Started streaming the regular season games. And, of course, the first playoff series that we streamed was for Hagee in overtime, and it was just pandemonium and bedlam after that. And this is just kind of like, you're damn right we better win a round. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm happy we won. But with the team that we have on the ice, especially once we got a 3-1 lead in the series, there would have been nothing but disappointment at this point had we not won the series. Now, if Tampa would have won this game, it was kind of sketchy there for a little bit. We were just letting them keep coming back and get goals. But at some point here, we did the thing. Whatever it is, if we got a 1-goal lead, there's like a timer. If we get a 1-goal lead in the first period or in the first 5 minutes of the second period, you're almost guaranteed we're going to give it up. But if we have that lead with like 5 minutes left in the second period or at any point in the third, it's almost guaranteed that we're just going to bore you to death and somehow puck's not going to go in the back of the net. And the first 10 minutes of that third period, it was just basically all Tampa. It was just in the zone and in the zone and in the zone. And Bob had to make some saves. He made Bubba. Bubba made some saves. Let's give Bubba his love. Okay? There was no Bobrovskis in this series, but he made a couple of big ones in pretty much every game. And even though we gave up 3 today, none of them were really, there wasn't anything egregious. It just, Tampa's a good hockey team. I don't know what goes on with Tampa now. I'm hearing the little whispers about they might want to move on from Cooper and everything. This was the worst possible matchup Tampa could have had. Like somebody else had said, if Florida and Tampa were in a different division, Florida-Tampa would probably be the Eastern Conference Finals. This was the worst possible matchup Tampa could have had. I think they would have beat Toronto. I think they would have beat Ottawa. I think they would have beat Montreal. Most of the teams, honestly, I don't think maybe Washington they would have had a hard time with. But the point is I wouldn't look at this like, oh my God, Cooper can't get him out of the first round again. It's like they just ended up with the wrong matchup, and but we'll see how all that goes. I'm sure if he does get let go, he won't be out of his job for about 30 seconds, and somebody would be really happy to get him. But I don't think so. I would be surprised about that. That said, now Panthers, they got the long flight home. It's like almost 2 hours. I mean, seriously. Long ass flight home. No, it's not a 2-hour flight. It's like a 2-hour drive. What's it, like a 20-minute flight? Right? When I was a kid, and I used to go over to Princess Casinos in the Bahamas. We'd leave to go to Freeport. We'd leave Fort Lauderdale Airport. I think it was like a 21-minute flight, something like that. You're just up and down. It's crazy. All right. There's no need to belabor this. This was exactly what we needed to do. We get to win it in 2 years in a row, right? I mean, I'll be honest. I really expected what you guys know, right? That's 2 years in a row I didn't want to play Tampa, and that's 2 years in a row we beat them by 5. So next year I don't want to play them again either, right? And we got bigger business to tend to now. We really do, because no matter who we play, in my opinion, I know Washington might be a pain in the ass. The Canes could be a pain in the ass. But in terms of rivalry and matchups, I really felt like Tampa is going to be our hardest matchup. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to have to go 6-7 games to win some of these other series. That's not what I'm saying. But in terms especially the top 6, I kind of felt like Tampa was going to be our toughest opponent. But that might not end up being, right? It might not end up being. Toronto might have something to say about that. If Ottawa wins, you're going to be having the whole Kachuk versus Kachuk thing. And that series would get really interesting because it gets real rough. And then, of course, if you move on past that, it's now either Washington or Carolina. And either one of those teams obviously be a massive pain in the ass. The 4 teams that are left, the 3 teams that are left now, could easily get to the Cup. Toronto, Ottawa, we'll see. That whole situation, what I'll say is, as a fellow YouTuber, I kind of am starting to feel bad for Steve Dangle. Genuinely starting to feel bad for the dude. It's like, this is my 9th season, but I at least got a Cup appearance in year 7 and a Cup win in year 8, right? He's been doing it more than 2 times me. What's he, 17, 18 years? He's got 1 playoff round win. It's like, damn, that's rough. All right, I will be live tomorrow at noon. Thank you all for coming out to the streams. The whole series has been magnificent and fantastic. Thank you all for the super chats and for all of the memberships. A lot of people gifting memberships. So I will have tomorrow, live at noon. We'll have a members podcast out a little bit later on in the day, and tomorrow, Paul and I are recording a podcast on the Puck Blockers channel. That's the other channel that I've got now. Link is in the description. So there's going to be a lot of content tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, is there anybody to cover tomorrow night? Is there anybody? I guess there's going to be some Western Conference games tomorrow. So we'll look and see when those are starting. And I'm sure we'll be live for those. All right, that's going to do it. Panthers out of round 1, on to round 2. Take care of Tampa Bay in 5 games. That's 5 games. And then we won 4 games. And then we need 4 again. And 8 and 16. And 6 minus 1 is 5. And we won the series in 5. So we're going to win the Cup again.